talk about the law of the rubber band. Matthew 5:41, and whosoever shall compel thee to go a mile, go with him twain. Give to him that asketh thee, and from him that would borrow of thee, turn not thou away. Growth stops when you lose the tension between where you are and where you could be. Someone said only a mediocre person is always at his best. I believe God's gift to us is our potential, but our gift to God is developing it. We do this by continually stretching ourselves, not just physically, but also mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Life really begins at the end of our comfort zones. Rubber bands are useful only when they're stretched. That can also be said of us. Few people want to be stretched. And so the mindset of some is the less you know, the less you have to do. There was a cartoon in the Wall Street Journal of a person telling the personnel manager, I know that I'm overqualified, but I promise to use only half my ability. That's how some people approach life. Most people only use a fraction of their ability and rarely strive to reach their full potential. If there's no tension in your life to grow, there's little desire to stretch. Think about these statistics for a minute and look at your current situation honestly. A third of all high school graduates never read another book for the rest of their lives. 42% of college graduates similarly never read a book after college days are finished. Only 32% of the U.S. population has ever been in a bookstore. That's staggering. Too many people are willing to settle for average in life. Average is what the failures claim to be when their family and friends ask them why they aren't more successful. Average is the top of the bottom, the best of the worst, the bottom of the top, the worst of the best. So you got to ask yourself this, which of these are you? Average means being run-of-the-mill, mediocre, insignificant, and spiritually that would be called lukewarm. No one wants that in life. Being average is the lazy person's cop-out. It's lacking the guts to take a stand in life. It's living by default. Being average to take up space for no purpose, to take a trip through life but never pay the fare, to return no interest for God's great investment in your life. Being average is to pass one's life away with time rather than pass one's life away with life. It's to kill time rather than to work it to death. To be average is to be forgotten once you pass from this life. The successful are remembered for their contributions. The failures are remembered because they tried. But the average, the silent majority, just forgotten. To be average is to commit the greatest crime one can against oneself, humanity, and even God. The saddest epitaph is this: here lies Mr. and Mrs. Average. Here lies the remains of might have been, should have been, and could have been. Nobody admires average. The best organizations don't pay for average. Mediocrity is not worth shooting for. Settling for the status quo ultimately leads to dissatisfaction. Most people are naturally tempted to settle into a comfort zone where they choose comfort over potential. They fall into familiar patterns and habits, doing the same things in the same ways with the same people, the same time, and of course getting the same results. If you have ever settled for status quo and then wondered why your life isn't going the way you hope, then you need to realize that you will only reach your potential if you have the courage to push yourself outside of your comfort zone. Break out of a mindset of mediocrity. You must be willing to leave behind what feels familiar, safe, and secure. You must give up excuses and push forward. You must be willing to face the tension that comes from stretching forward toward your potential. Stretching always starts from the inside out. Reaching your potential starts from the inside. It's a mindset. Most people have a dream. For some, it's on the tip of their tongue. For others, it's buried deep in their hearts. But everyone has one. However, not many people are pursuing it. Instead of wishing, wanting, and waiting, people need to search inside themselves for a reason to start. It's wise to remember that our situation in life is mainly due to the choices we make and the actions we do or fail to take. The older we are, the more responsible we are for our situation. If you're merely average, or if you're no closer to your dream this year than you were last year, you can choose to accept it, defend it, cover it up, and explain it away, or you can choose to change it, grow from it, forge a new path. Find a mentor who can help you see yourself for who you could be, not who you currently are. And then use that image to inspire you to start stretching. Stretching always requires change. You can't improve and avoid change at the same time. It's difficult to focus on your past and change in the present. Yesterday, it ended last night. To grow, you must be willing to let your present and future be totally unlike your past. Your history is not your destiny. If you want to grow and change, you must take risk. Innovation and progress are often initiated by people who push for change. It's unfortunate that word entrepreneur has come to mean a gambler to some people. But risk has advantages. People who take risk learn more and faster than those who don't. Their depth and range of experience is often greater, and they learn how to solve problems. All of those help a person grow. The greatest stretching seasons of life come when we do what we have never done, push ourselves harder, and reach in a way that's uncomfortable to us. That takes courage, but the good news is that it causes us to grow in ways we thought were impossible. Stretching, it sets you apart from others. Forget some of the most basic habits you learn in school. Once you are in the real world, and it doesn't matter if you're 22 or 62, starting your first job or your fifth job, the way you get ahead is to over-deliver. Improving yourself is the best way to help your team. Successful people set themselves apart because they initiate the improvement others need. When you get better, those around you benefit. Excellence has the potential to spread in the same way that mediocrity does. Let me say that one again. Excellence has the potential to spread in the same way that mediocrity does. The positives or negatives of a group always begin with one. When you get better, so will others. Stretching can become a lifestyle. When we stop stretching, I believe we really stop living. We may keep on breathing, but our vital signs may be working, but we're dead on the inside and dead to our greatest possibilities. Too many people are dead, but just haven't made it official yet. If you want to be better tomorrow than you were today, then what do you need for tomorrow? Stretching, it gives you a shot at significance. Significance is birthed within each of us. If we're willing to stretch, that seed can grow until it begins to bear fruit in our lives. What's fantastic is that change within us challenges us to make change all around us. And our growth creates a belief in us that others can grow. When that happens in an environment and everybody is stretching and everybody is growing, then indifference is replaced with make a difference. And that's how we begin to change our world. Growth stops when you lose the tension between where you are and where you could be. For most people, as time goes by, they lose the tension that prompts growth, especially if they experience any success. But having less tension makes people less productive, and it undermines the growth toward your potential.